Greetings, Dr. Joseph Martin here. Suicide, mental health, and depression. We'd like to understand some of the causes and point out some of the cures, and also give some online support that you can connect with. Well, I'm going to take a very different point of view than anyone else you might have heard from in the psychology world or the medical world. I've been an anthropologist and observing human behavior and thoughts and feelings all my life, and been a clinician for over 40 years as a psychologist and psychotherapist. So let's look at the prevalence of mental illness or mental health issues. Now you're going to see statistics in Canada that say that 8% of people think about suicide very often, and maybe 80% think about it once in a while. But I'm here to tell you that, in fact, 100% of people have mental health issues. And if they tell you they don't, then they're lying. Human beings and the human nature that we have in our evolutionary state right now, we all have masks we wear, we all lie to ourselves, we all lie to other people. That being the case, and the case being that we all want to look good all the time and look as if we're perfect and we're in control of our lives all the time, we will deny the fact that we have anxiety or self-doubt or fears, or once in a while get the blues or get down or depressed or don't feel like going to work or even getting out of bed. If you have any of those symptoms, those mental thoughts or those emotions, then you are mentally in need of some readjustments and some self-treatment. And the fact that we lie to ourselves about this is actually doing us no good at all, because 100% of people that I know have always had some lack of self-confidence or lack of self-worth. They don't feel that they're perfect beings, or if they are, they're having a God complex and they're a psychopath. And so everyone, every single being, every one of the over 7 billion people in every culture and background is in need of some understanding of what true perfect mental health can be. So we'll start with that assumption and that truth. And it will be a great point in human evolution when our society and individuals in it can learn to tell the truth at all times. And in fact, this may be the one key thing that will save our civilization at this present moment in the early 21st century. It's lies, corruption, deceit among individuals and corporations and in politics and in the military. It's this that's causing the breakdown of civilization, at least one of the major factors in social devolution. So let's go back to mental health. If you had any of those thoughts or feelings that I've mentioned, you are in need of looking at yourself and doing some very deep self-reflection. Now, the fact is, suicide is when all these conditions within individuals go untreated. And the very fact that they go untreated or even unseen shows that this is absolutely true, what I've been saying. The fact that parents can't see that their child is depressed, that teachers in public schools and in high schools and in colleges and universities cannot see that their students are depressed and possibly suicidal, tells us that all these people need, first of all, to recognize what these challenges are to our mental health, and then need some great education to try to support the people who are going through these deep mental and emotional crises. Increasingly now, as time moves forward on our planet, with all the economic challenges, with all the political challenges and changes, and wars and conflicts, with all the bullying, cyberbullying, and in-face bullying in schools and on the streets, with all the corruption and criminality of identity theft and all sorts of other kinds of a theft of personality. We need to take very seriously how we can look at the real deep causes of mental health challenges and not just only need to look at and learn to know what the symptoms are. Well, what are some of the symptoms of mental health challenges? Obviously, anxiety, worry, mental confusion, depression, self judgment, self blame, self shame, or turning it outwards instead of turning it inwards, judging and blaming other people and projecting all of this onto other people or groups. How many of you have been free of all the things I've just mentioned? Is there anyone? Probably not, because we're all the same. All human beings tick the same way. We just need to tell the truth. Other symptoms are boredom, loneliness, physical isolation, lack of verbal communication, emotional shutdown, people hiding in rooms, failing to go to school or work. And I gather to say the truth that of all the sick days that people at work phone in for, they're not physically sick. Nobody's fooled by this. They're having mental thought challenges and emotional challenges. They feel low self-worth. They feel that they can't get out of bed. They can't face people. They can't put on a good, happy mask at work or at school. That's why they don't go to work and school. It's not because they have the flu. We're not fooling anybody. So we need to recognize that these are some of the symptoms and look beneath all of this. What is the actual, the real cause of why people are in consternation about themselves as human beings and how they handle their thoughts or don't handle them very well, and how they can't face up to their emotions and their true feelings. So emotional shutdown is another aspect of mental health challenge. The basic cause of all of this, it's very clear, it's very simple. These people, yourself as well, listening to this, feel unloved. Maybe you feel you never got the love you needed from your mother, your father, your brothers and sisters, your extended family. You never got the love or respect from your peers, your teachers, people around you, neighbors. And these are the causes, but basically it all comes down to feeling unloved, unworthy, unwanted, and disconnected from everyone. I'm sure that everyone watching has gone through some phase when they felt that they didn't have a friend, a true friend, who they could trust to share their feelings. And as we isolate more and more as individuals, which is seemingly the case here in all cultures of the world, the mental health challenges are the number one great factor to our personal livelihood and satisfaction and happiness, and also our ongoing relationships, marriages, families, neighborhoods, businesses, nations, and global safety and security. Having said all that, then, we need to say that people need to understand how they can build better self-worth, how they can learn to love, and how they can learn to receive love. Most of the people I talk to say that they never truly have felt loved by anyone in their life. That's a sad truth, isn't it? So what we need to do is take seriously the fact that 1 in 5 suicides in Canada, where I live, are in fact between the ages of 15 and 19 years of age. They're traceable to non-accidental suicide, intentional killing of oneself, because the mental health and the low self-esteem has come down to zero. It takes a lot for somebody to actually take action to kill themselves. And I'm sure that 100% of people, if they were honest, would say that once or twice in their life, in some low period where they've lost relationships, work, money, health, or something, they have thought of it themselves. It's certainly my case in over 40 years as a clinician, and when I do all my cross-cultural anthropological research, I know that this is likely the case. So I'm not going to be able to suggest too many cures at this point. It's far too vast a clinical and an experiential process. We are going to be offering soon on iamselfworth.com an ongoing self-help, self-training program whereby you can access it and you can take yourself through the healing steps that you need now. So there are some other self-help programs available to you. I'm going to give you 6 of them. They're available here in Canada. You can call 911 or you can call 211 and somebody will talk with you if you're feeling suicidal and depressed. You can go on ementalhealth.ca. That's ementalhealth.ca. You can go on a program that's now national here in Canada called rightbyu.ca. These are psychologists and concerned parents and some politicians who've set up a website where you can go onto the website and there's numbers you can call rightbyu.ca. I'll spell it for you. rightbyu.ca. I encourage you to access this and then you can contact some people. And to all the health professionals and the teachers and the college and university professors and people who are in the public service, like nurses and doctors and police people, I would suggest that you get some training in how to recognize symptoms in your students or your people that you're seeing to understand how you can see the symptoms and start to treat the symptoms. But it's obviously very simple, isn't it? Just be human, be kind, be respectful, and be listening and contact and communicate heart to heart. You can also contact, if you are feeling suicidal, any health clinic, a walk-in clinic, or you can go to the hospital, go to emergency, and seek support. It's just a passing thing, and you will learn to be more comfortable with your thoughts and learn how to handle your anxieties and your worries and your self-doubts and your self-judgments and your low feelings of self-worth and emotion. So I encourage you to look forward to learning more about this, taking it very sincerely, being honest when you're feeling or thinking this way. Don't put up masks. Tell the truth. You don't have to be perfect. And when you do this, you're going to find that there will be people who have absolutely the similar experiences as yourself, who you can reach out to. They will listen to you, and you in turn can listen to their life story and gain some inspiration, some knowledge, and some hope, and some faith. So have trust in yourself. Reach out. This is the key. And call someone, anyone you choose to, tell them the truth. So for the mental health issues worldwide, loneliness and depression are the great #1 mental health condition acknowledged by the World Health Organization as by far the greatest problem or challenge we all face worldwide, and it seems to be a growing challenge. The Metro Toronto School Board has just last week, and this is the month of February 2014, acknowledged that they're putting millions of dollars into teacher, parent, and training to learn to recognize the symptoms and the causes of mental health challenges and suicidal thoughts among all the students. Remember, some of the greater causes to all this are people in minorities. The ones in minorities who feel less than or unconnected or unworthy, such as women, people of color, people of ethnic minorities, the gay, lesbian, bisexual, transvestite community, certain ethnic groups that have been projected, have their shadows projected onto, and I won't mention them, but all these groups, and particularly even people who aren't in these so-called minority groups, everyone can and does feel the need for some kind of condition of healing the self-doubt and the self-judgment and just the bad, poor feelings that one has about themselves. So I heartily recommend and encourage and inspire you, in fact, to reach out this very moment after you've listened to this video. Dr. Joseph Martin, all my love and support.